Okay, all right lads, so what we're going to do is I'm going to shout so the camera can hear us, okay? What we're going to show you is just how to start using the plant and doing a bit of gas welding, okay? We're not actually going to weld anything together just yet. What we are going to do is just get used to using the torch and just even running our pools in straight lines, okay? A lot of gas welding is, a lot of the skill is based on controlling your pool, okay? The rod is only just to give a filler to the actual metal, because if you're fusing, it's called fusion welding, okay? It's called fusion welding. So if you want to fuse the two of those plates there together, okay? That's 3mm plate and that's 3mm plate. But if you need to fuse the two of those together, there's a gap between that. No matter how small the gap is, you have to fill that gap, okay? So for you to fill that gap, you have to steal molten metal from this and from this to put it into the middle of the two of them, to join the two, fuse the two, okay? You understand? So we need the two of them to fuse together. So if we do that, you're going to end up with a weaker spot edge. You're going to end up with a thin spot that is going to be, you've heated here, you've melted that, so you're rubbing from this and you're rubbing from that to make up that, which means if that's 3mm, that's going to be less. Might be very slightly less, but it's going to be less and it's going to be a weaker spot. So that's why we add rod into a weld, to give it more strength. And then when you add the rod in, technically the rod should make it a stronger part of the metal, okay, of the material. So what we're going to do is, of course, we're not going to use any rod, because to get that rod in, as I said, it's only building it up, but controlling the pool that is created is the first thing. That's the hardest part of it, okay? And what we're going to do is, using oxyacetylene welding, we're just going to run a few straight runs, and having it nice and consistent, okay? So for this, you're going to want your goggles, okay, or your face shield, whichever you have, all right? You're going to want one or the other. I'm going to use my face shield. That's the one I prefer. It's up to you. You try both and you'll find which one you're comfortable with, okay? To light my torch, you've already done the oxyacetylene safety, okay? You've done that with Dermot. What I'm going to show you is just a couple of things with the bottles and the regulators, okay? What you have up here on your set, if you look up here, what you have up here, you have an oxygen and an acetylene with you. You have an oxygen and an acetylene in there, okay? Connection or regulator. Above them there's two valves, okay? You have to turn those two valves on to let the gas flow to here, okay? Before the gas will flow to there, you need to turn on the extract fans, which are over here. There's two green buttons beside the copper benders. You have to hit two of those, otherwise the two solenoids here will not open, okay? You'll start gas welding and you'll notice that your flame is starting to change on you. That is because you don't have those open. What's happening is all you're doing is draining the pipe work, so you're purging the pipes, okay? It's another word we use for it, is purging. So if you don't have those vents on, all you're doing is you're getting the gas, the oxygen, the acetylene that's left in the bottle, left in those, that pipe work. There's a loop around there, and all you're doing is using up that gas. Okay. Eventually it'll run out, and you won't be able to weld anymore. But if you turn on the two solenoids, the gas comes in, and it provides you with plenty of gas for to do your welds. Okay. What you have above your heads, okay, each one of you have a one-stage regulator, okay? It rhymes with gauge, and most people will say something like one-gauge regulator if they were asked about it, but the proper name is a one-stage regulator, okay? What's on my set of bottles, which you've done your oxyacetylene safety with, is a two-stage regulator, okay? The difference is there's one gauge on this and there's two gauges on that. What's the purpose of a regulator? Does anybody know what the purpose of a regulator is? It regulates the pressure. Okay. So inside our oxygen bottle, there's 230 bar pressure in that bottle, okay? 230 bar. That means if you open that, okay, it'll take off, yeah? So we need to reduce that pressure when we open it, and that's what the regulator is for. So when you put the regulator on, that reduces it, stops all that pressure coming out at once, okay? We can regulate that by adjusting these dials here, okay? Once you adjust those, you see the gauges moving on your oxyacetylene gauges here. So I'm just going to turn the two of those on, and you'll see that is up at 0.5 on the left here, which should be the same on the left here, okay? You can adjust them by looking at the dots. The big dot, go towards the big dot, more, go towards the small dot, less, okay? You'll also see on the regulators on my bottles, you'll see some different brands have different gauges, and those gauges tell you what they're used for. So where to set it to for what they're used for. Okay. What a one-stage regulator does is tells you your working pressure. Okay. So the working pressure is the pressure that's coming out of the nozzle. Okay, coming out of the tip. That's what you need to know. Okay. We don't need to know what's left in the bottles because it's coming from over and beyond in the stores. Okay, we have an MCP with 20 bottles of acetylene over there. Okay, and that feeds all 5 workshops. The 4 of us and the 4 plumbing workshops. One of them which is decommissioned at the moment, and the sheet metal workshop. Okay, that's feeding out all of those. That'll eventually set down, the alarm will sound, and we'll change over the bottles and we order a new one. Okay, we produce our own oxygen, so we distill our own oxygen from the air. Okay, we have a distillery outside that takes the oxygen out of the air because most of what you breathe in is oxygen. So it's free there, and we put in the plant, and it's not cheaper for us. We do have a reserve of bottles out there as well, just in case the plant shuts down, and we can change over very quickly. Okay. With my set of bottles, I've got regulators, 2-stage regulators, which is the 2 gauges. One is working pressure. So what is the other one? Exactly. It tells you how much is left in the bottles. Okay. So we've got a working pressure, okay, and we've got the bottle pressure, right? So that's the two. That's the difference between the two. You've got your flashback arresters on both. You've got your check valves and your hoses. Everything else the same. Your blue hose is your oxygen hose. Your red hose is your acetylene hose. They won't cross over. Well, how do we know that they won't cross over? Why can't we put one onto the other?
One's the clockwise thread.
Exactly. One is a left-hand thread, one is a right-hand thread. Okay. So the oxygen is a right-hand thread. Okay. It's a non-combustible gas. It means it won't light on its own. Okay. So it's a right-hand thread. So it'll screw on right-hand. Same as if you were opening a bottle of Coke or whatever. On, you'll screw it to the right, and off you screw it to the left. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Okay. With the acetylene, because it's a combustible gas, right? It's a left-hand thread, which means it's lefty tighty, righty loosey. Okay, that's tricky. Try it. Okay, you can tell by looking at the nuts that they have. There's a little notch. Okay, there's a small little notch. You can see the notch here. You can see the notches there. Okay, the notch there. Them notches mean that nut is a left-hand thread. It's so you don't go over to it. So visibly you can tell straight away. Okay. You can see it on the acetylene, my acetylene and my oxygen as well, that one has them and one doesn't. Okay. So what we want to do, all I want you to do then, this morning, today, what we're going to do is, we're going to do just straight runs with the oxyacetylene, okay? Just straight runs for now, okay? So you get a square, put a chalk line straight across, okay, in a straight line. Okay, and then you can follow that line. Try your best to follow that line on your piece. Okay, when you have it done. I know it's coming up to break time. I know that, but let me just get this bit going on. So you've all seen turning on and off the gauges. How to set up the gauges, the whole lot. The 3 different flames. Yeah, oxidizing, neutral, and carburizing flames. okay? You just know that the gap that's between the flame and the nozzle you need to get rid of. So you turn it down to get rid of that, okay? But you get that black smoke coming out now, so you turn it up a little bit to get rid of the black smoke, okay? After that, we add in our oxygen, okay? You light the acetylene first. Remember, the acetylene is flammable, it's combustible, so that will light, the oxygen won't light. So after that, we add in our oxygen. Very slowly open the valve, and you'll see it coming down to our slightly oxidizing flame. It's neutral, but slightly oxidizing, I always go. Just tiniest little bit more, okay? It doesn't have to, you don't have to hear it like that. It can be, every one of you will set this different, okay? Nobody can show you exactly how to set this. I can't show you, Dermot can't show you, Pat can't show you, nobody. Because you will work at a different speed to me and different comfort, and you'll build your pool differently. All we can do is guide you, okay? I can guide you how I do it. And if you're getting this right, you get it right, and nobody will change that for you. But if you're getting it wrong, then we will tell you how to change it, or we'll instruct you to do it the way we do it, okay? An important thing to remember about this is that tip has that direction on it for a reason, because that is the way the direction light is supposed to be. That's the angle you're supposed to weld at, okay? If that plate was like that, okay, the handle should be parallel to this all the time, okay? The plate is like that, parallel to the ground, okay? Right, if you look at that, it's perpendicular to the ground, okay? Always like that. So what I'm going to do is just run a straight run through that, okay? And then after the break, I'll let you go try it again, okay? So I'd always wear my mask on it, because it just hurts your eyes to look at that point for too long, okay? I'm blinded. So just get your pool up, okay? Try it with one hand. For me, it'd be more comfortable if I'm working in this zone here, okay? It's much easier to work here with my elbows tight by my side than it is out there like that, okay? Because there's too many places that there's too much movement there in my arms, okay? If I get them nice and tight in by my side, there's a lot less movement. All I have to do is that on a pipe, or if it's a straight piece, just that there. And look, everything stays in a straight line. So nearly stand side on if you want, okay? But it's up to you, get comfortable. That would be my advice to you, okay? Get comfortable. So, down here, and I'm just gonna go across like that, okay? I need to get my pool up first. Before I start moving, can you see that starting to turn into molten steel? You probably can't, but I'll show you again after the break again, alright? And I'm just going in small little circles like so. Okay, and that is keeping everything uniform, and it's keeping the pool is the molten steel, that's keeping it all the same width all the time. Okay, I'm not jumping ahead of myself. Nice and slow, lots of patience. See the really pointed tip? That's never in the pool, never. Okay, and it stays the same distance from it the whole time. Okay, you'll be better off. I'll show you again after the break. All right. Whatever you do, don't touch. Okay, and if you're leaving something on the table, which I'd ask you not to do, write down. Okay, I'll show you again after the break. That's all we're doing for now, and I'll show you again after the break. What I'll show you is it welding off.